You guys are muted.
There you go. Try
Hello. Welcome back on podcast. Welcome to our MACM Make a Culture Move podcast. Oh no, I said that twice. But here we cover everything from intense social topics to funny social trends. We are your hosts, Mark Jonathan,
Tabitha Saraiba Israel,
and G.
Yes, indeed. And as we get started today, we'll be having 3 main subjects. And then before we get into that, though, we're going to do our brief disclaimer.
All right, so you guys here at the MACM podcast and Make a Culture Move podcast, we cover a lot of controversial issues and topics, and we just want to let y'all know that our opinions do not reflect MACM as a whole, as an organization. So, just keep that in mind as we dig into these, heavy topips.
Yes, indeed.
So as you can see, the title to this podcast is Roaches and Rats, y'all. When I say that it's very, in the Black community, there's hella roaches, there's hella rats. I seen this video on World Star Hip Hop that made my scalp start to itching because, when you see a bunch of roaches and stuff, it makes your skin starts to crawl.
Tingle. It makes you tingle.
It makes you tingle. So I found this video and I was like, okay. But before we even dig into that, though, that was just a brief overview. But we're going to get into the Black crisis as far as housing and stuff like that. Because, again, I'm going to bring the problem, but I'm going to bring an opportunity and a solution. And then we're going to go over a little bit of employment because employment and housing go hand in hand. And us as people of color, we have a hard time with housing and we have a hard time with employment. So yes, we're finna get into this real quick. It's an article. It's by the urban.org. They say that the Black community is urban. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I don't know. With this whole gentrification thing, everything is just, it is a little bit of urban because who's moving in. So it's the Urban Wire, race and ethnicity. Black ownership is in a crisis. Although home ownership rates for other racial groups have largely recovered since the 2008 housing crisis, Black homeowners continue to decline, recently hitting an all-time low in the first quarter of this year. Home ownership is beneficial for building household wealth, again, that wealth that we talk about, generational wealth, increasing intergenerational economic mobility, offering a hedge against inflation, and increasing civic engagement, all of which make the ongoing decline in Black home ownership deeply troubling. At the Housing Finance Policy Center's recent data talk on the Black home ownership gap, experts presented important data on the state of Black home ownership. These 5 facts exclusively sum up the crisis. Okay, we ain't gonna get into the 5 facts, but just know that it's a problem. And some of this stuff y'all are gonna see, this all comes from us not owning our own places and renting. I'm telling you, when I seen these roaches back in the day when I lived in Arizona, you know what I'm saying, when I was a young child, I used to see hella roaches in the housing that we had because we're only allowed to live in certain neighborhoods and stuff like that because of our economic position, because of the certain jobs that we're allowed to get, minimum wage, which puts us below the poverty line, which puts us in, low income housing. So yes. So let's get into this video. World Star. Okay. World Star. This stuff had me tripping. I was like, wow, this is a thing. Hold on, let's do that. Let's get the full effect of this video.
Wow.
I can't watch. I can't.
That's behind the picture of the
Look at them staring.
Oh, it's burned the whole house.
Right, burn it down. And you could
literally.
You could see them in the corner. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. That's why I'm telling y'all, It is so important for us to own our own houses. And when we do own our own houses, a lot of times we don't take care of them at all. You're going to see this next video. This black lady has rats in her house, but she's like, these are my rats. I take care of these rats. I love these rats. She got
Henry,
these, right? She got, she got these white people in her house interviewing her, and she's picking up the rat like as it's running across the floor, saying, you could tell what kind of rat this is, describing what kind of rat it is and stuff. It's just weird. So I definitely wanted to bring out this because sometimes, you know, we have the means to sustain and support ourselves, but we do not do a good job. Or we have housing and we don't do a good job. So I definitely wanted to bring this out because we know we just can't blame, you know, we can't blame everybody. So we finna get into it. I don't know this lady's name. This was my first time seeing this video, and I just thought that it was wild. So we're gonna get into this one also. All right.
Rats, they have taken over. They're in every room, pretty much in the house. They're in the kitchen. They're upstairs. They're in my room. But the rats that were in my room, they were friendly. And so they took all my friendlier rats, and the ones that were loose, they never really had human contact. All of them got pregnant, and after he got all of them pregnant, he ran away.
He has a deadbeat.
And then a couple more escaped out the cage. I didn't think of it as a big deal or a problem. I still don't, but it really got out of hand, and I just was feeding them every day, and they kept breeding and breeding, and I still had the ones in the cages, and it just really got out of control, but I still wanted to keep them. This is a Dumbo. You could tell by it. This is our grandparents' house that they left it to us to take care of and entrusted us with it, and she just let the whole family down.
Yeah, she has. Absolutely.
Yeah. Describe to me why you're so disappointed and so hurt.
Because the fact that I know that she didn't have to go through this, but I know it's the condition hoarding. So since I learned about it, and I know that you have to be patient.
Look at how they're just running.
And this is our grandparents' house again.
Everything.
And her living like this is not healthy.
Ugh.
We had a pest control guy came out here, and he said that if she didn't get these rats out, that the ammonia smell is so bad that she could die in the house. But I got used to it. But also, I work at night. I'm a nurse, and
You're a nurse.
I can smell you, and I told them I didn't hide anything. I'm like, yes, I told them the truth, you know, because sometimes they see what my uniforms have holes in them, you know, in the smell. So I had to tell them the truth, you know, what's going on about the house and my rats.
Yeah. So you're just a kind-hearted person, aren't you?
Yes.
No, I'm not a kind-hearted person. I'm sorry. I got to stop it right there.
Please do.
This lady is saying
like this the entire time.
This lady is saying that you're just such a kind-hearted person. You taking these rats in. Yes. Yes.
No.
I'm like, this is disgusting.
It's gross. Like the sister said, like, I'm just so disappointed. Like, just no, y'all, like, I don't know if y'all can see, I started tearing up over here. That's gross. It's disgusting. That it just made me uncomfortable. Like, and now you got these white people thinking that black people, this is just normal. Like, this is just
a norm.
No, it's not okay.
I didn't know you go hoard rats.
I swear, I thought hoarding was just like stuff that you never threw away, like collectibles or something like that.
She collecting rats.
Yeah, collecting rats. Like the friendly rats.
On me. And then after the inspector said that she could potentially die from that, and like their coworkers is noticing the smell and then the holes in her clothes, like, how are you not doing nothing?
How are you okay with it? And then you're a nurse, like, so you just through all the sanitary stuff you learned about nursing out the window.
Like she was trying to clean up. It looked like she was trying to sweep up the feces and stuff, but it just didn't work out. I'm like, you are nasty, man.
That's not nasty. Oh my God.
That gives bad people. That gives bad people. That gives black people a bad look. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I ain't never. Okay, of course, like again with the roaches that we see at the beginning, my cousin's house was like that. My mom always put down that I don't know, it's a type of blue powder that you could put around your house, and the roaches eat it and they die, and then there's just no more. It's like an acid. But yeah, the name of the Izzy, yes, just blow the whole house up. Somebody said just throw the whole house away. I'm like,
literally.
there's holes in the wall, holes in the couch. You got holes in your clothes, in the bed. They like really nesting up in your house, and you got an infestation at that point.
And she was really acting like she knew each one by name.
Yeah, like they're her family. Like what?
She was feeding them. Them.
I forgot she said that.
She was like, "Yeah, I'd be feeding them." And honestly, the lady that's interviewing, you could tell that she was white. She was like,
yeah,
a caring person.
Like no.
She's like, yeah, I'm caring. Like, stop reinforcing this negative, ugly.
Really, because me, if I was the reporter, I would have asked, have you ever been tested for mental health issues?
For real.
Because this is not okay. There's something mentally wrong if you think it is okay.
Absolutely.
That's just crazy.
Right. But, again, I'm not going to just throw these problems out there. I'm going to try to go over some solutions. So, again, we're going to talk about housing because as we've seen, this lady had housing. Like, this was a house that was left in a legacy from her grandparents for her to get herself together. And obviously, she did the opposite of that. So, we finna look at a program that's going to help us as people of color own our own homes. It's called the CHAFA program. I talk about this program all the time, and
this is what helped you, right?
This is what helped me get my place. It's CHAFA, CHFA. It's a down payment assistance program, and we're just gonna read a little bit of it. It's not a lot.
Do you know what it stands for?
You gotta ask somebody else.
Colorado Housing Financial Assistance, I believe.
Yes. Okay. Down payment and or closing cost assistance options. Home buyers using one of our first mortgage loan programs to finance their home purchase are eligible to use CHAFA assistance options to help with down payment and or closing costs. Even if you contribute towards a down payment, you may still use one of the options below. Option 1, down payment assistance grant. Up to 3% of your first mortgage. Example, up to $6,000 on a $200,000 mortgage. No repayment required. So this is free money. It's like scholarships and stuff. We got to take advantage of this stuff, man. We really do. Second mortgage loan. Up to 4% of your first mortgage. I can't talk. Get up to $8,000 on a $200,000 mortgage. Repayment of loan balance deferred until certain events, such as pay off on your first mortgage or the sale or refinance of the home. So again, like this definitely helps to perpetuate generational wealth. Obviously, that's something that we lack as a community. And I use this program, y'all. I put $2,000 down on my house, and they ended up giving me like $11,000, $9,000 or something like that dollars, and they ended up giving me money back because at the end of the day, the grant ended up covering everything, so I didn't have to pay my first month's rent. So it's kind of like it's like putting a down payment down on an apartment if you have bad credit, because I have bad credit, so I would have to do that. But it definitely helps you. So I think that we as people need to take advantage of stuff like this. Yes. And as just a little bit of comedic relief, I don't know if anybody has anything to say about that.
If I may, and we've covered this multiple times before, but the importance, and she kind of went over it a little bit, but the importance of owning a home, it allows you to be included in those decisions that's in your schooling, the stores and things like that that's in your neighborhood. So yeah, just owning a home really solidifies you a spot in your neighborhood. And then for generations to come, now they have a place to stay and then build on top of. So yeah.
Yes. And I just have a little bit of, I don't know, G, you got anything?
Yeah, it just holds so much more value than renting. Once you own a home and you have it paid off, I mean, really all you have to pay is like your property taxes, which boil down to not being much. So like it's, you know, it just holds so much more value. And then you teach that value. You know, you own your home and you teach that value to your seeds and your children's seeds so that that home forever stays in the family.
Right, right. And I definitely agree with everything she just said. We all agree with that. We all think that, you know, home ownership is so important. My mom definitely didn't own a home, and neither did my grandma. But my great-grandparents, you know, they did, and they ended up losing their house. But we, as people in the family, seeing how that really hurt the whole family, because that was like a central place that everybody in the family knew that if shit really hit the fan, we could go home to Nana's house. So it's just easier to think that. And you could dictate everything, paint your walls, bust the wall down and put something else up. You could do that. You could do that.
Even rent it out and start making money.
You could rent it out.
If you want to move, shoot, don't sell it, rent it. Do what other people do. Rent it out, rent the room out.
Don't sell it. Buy one home. I would say buy a home, live in it, so you know what that house is like, and then buy another home, rent that home out, and keep that cycle going. Just keep buying homes and renting them out. It's really a great business to be into.
Gotta keep your properties. It's gonna only grow.
Right, it's only gonna grow. It's only gonna double in value, quadruple in value.
Exactly.
So definitely, though, I want to segue into this employment piece. I have an informational clip. It's like maybe we're gonna go over like 1 or 2 minutes of it, and then we're gonna get to this girl that blasted everybody at her job before she quit. I was like, wow. She was like, yeah, you're a racist pig, and y'all fired black people for no reason on the intercom at Target. I was like, damn.
Oh wow.
Like she had enough. She was like, I'm out. So I was like, mic drop. She killed it. Let's get into this first video. Just a little, again, educational piece to help us understand why it's so hard to get a job.
Definitely don't support this.
No, they don't see it. Okay. But we're definitely going to get into, why is it so hard for us to get a job as people of color? It's really, really difficult, especially with COVID going on. So we just going to get into it a little bit. I think we're going to start right here. And let me,
Don't forget to cop the merch, y'all.
Yes. I like the black one. That one's hard.
I know, the black one go hard.
Yeah, I know you're watching this, so I like the black one. The black one go hard.
Oh, me.
Okay.
President Donald Trump has hailed the fact that the jobless rate among Black Americans fell to a historic low in December. It's still much higher than the national average, though. Our correspondents Philip Crowther and Sonia Dridi sent this report from Washington.
It's not far from the center of power across the river to one of the poorest parts of Washington, D.C. Anacostia's population is over 90% African American. Unemployment here stands at 14%. It's just 4% in the rest of the country. The job search is tough, and Gionta Morgan has been without employment for 10 years. His many visits to job centers tell him that things are not looking up, despite the president's claims.
It's very hard, real difficult for us as DC residents to have a job to just even live. I don't see nothing really that he's doing that's really helping us. If anything, he's doing more harm to us than good.
Damn, more harm than good. I don't know if any of y'all have had trouble finding a job during this pandemic, but for me, I'm just like, wow. So, and then we have one more small clip. Where's this dude at right here?
Spells them out.
Especially Black African American males, they tend to judge you or prejudge you before you even sit down and have the interview.
Black employment, in fact, has improved only minimally since 1968. The Economic Policy Institute says America is moving toward two societies, one black, one white, separate and unequal.
The United States is one of the richest countries.
Yeah. So that kind of goes into that whole talk that we've been having about segregation and stuff. And like, again, we're like we're like, we could live wherever we want, but at the end of the day, economics and other factors separate us. You know what I'm saying? And again, when desegregation happened, Black wealth ended up moving out of the Black community, and that left all of us in a I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, shitstorm, a shitty predicament. So I don't know.
I just think, you know, that the wealthy Black community needs to realize that they're still Black. You know, you can't move out of the Black communities and neighborhoods and think you're going to be accepted in the white community and neighborhoods, because then eventually we start moving there, they start moving out, and now just how the system works, they're going to make the property value go down because more Black people are going to start moving in, more wealthy Black people are going to start moving in. But once the white people move out, the government doesn't see any value in that community anymore.
Right.
It's just another Black community. It's not a wealthy Black community. It's just another Black community. Whereas the communities where there's Black and white people who are wealthy enough, so like for example, South Denver. South Denver has some very nice homes, beautiful homes, very beautiful. Most of the homeowners there are white people, and you have few Black people who are there, and those are the wealthy Black people who think they're too good to be considered Black. And that's the barrier that needs to be broken, because no matter how much money you come into, you're still Black.
Right, just like, what's his name? Well, not Quavo, Offset just figured out. He's like, I got money, but I just got arrested by the police for nothing really, just because I'm by a Trump rally. So
exactly. So that's just a barrier that needs to be broken within the overall Black community, is that no matter how much money you acquire, how much money you come in, you are still Black. So you can leave that Black community that you see as bad, or you can stay in that community and make it better. Because now that you have that money, you have the resources to help make it better. It just has to be within you, within your heart. You have to want better for your community. And if we all don't want better for our community, that's a problem. Like, if you don't want to see your next brother or sister being better, their children being better, all of us coming out on top, like that's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. I don't know.
Yeah. Just to add on to that, I mean, once we do have that money and then start putting it into our communities, that's when we start seeing the fruit from that. And then, it might start with one wealthy person coming back to the hood, and then, I don't know, investing into a Black business or getting them started, something of that. Now you have two business owners that can invest into another business. Okay, now that's three, and then so on. So it's just a snowball effect. We got to help each other. It takes a village.
Right, and you could hire Black employees. That's the big part, because you best believe that other nations or races of people, they hire people that look like them.
7-Elevens are, no offense to anybody, but are mostly what's the nationality?
They're mainly Arab or some type of Middle East. But yeah, that's really all you see at the offices, lawyers and stuff like that, nonprofits, other than, make a culture move. Most of them, it's a lot of people that don't look like us. So that's a big thing.
Yeah, so it's like when you have your business, hire Black completely. If you have a business where it's top to bottom, boom, and you have a lot going on, and you have janitors and cleaners and all of that, they all need to be Black as well. Like your CEOs, your lawyers, your doctors, your teachers, your nurses, everybody.
But what happens is a lot of times Black people, and this is one thing that bothers me a little bit. Black people will do stuff because they're working at a Black organization. They're like, man, they do stuff that they wouldn't do working for a white person. They should sometimes, they show up late. They, I don't know. I just think And
I agree with you on that. And I think just as Black people, we have to, be more comfortable with holding each other accountable. Like we have to hold each other accountable to our flaws. You know, there's no way we're gonna get better if we see somebody lacking and we just let them lack.
Right.
Instead of telling them you're lacking, I'm gonna need you to pick it up. You got to do better because you have better in you. We have to instill that value and that worth into each other, because when we lack, it's because we don't see that worth within ourselves. And so we as Black people have to uplift each other. We have to stay on top of each other. We have to nag one another. Like we have to, because if we don't do it, then nobody else is. White people want to see us fail. They want to see us doing bad. So they're definitely not going to let us know when we're lacking.
Right. So, but y'all, we're going to segue into this other video of this lady like blasting, because I just want to make sure that y'all know that it is coronavirus and you are still Black, you're still brown. So you need to try to hold it down at whatever job that you're at until you get a new one. I don't know if this girl got a new job and she's just like, F it, I'm just going to turn up and before I leave. But like, we just got to really think things through and not just act in the spur of the moment. So yes, let's get into this one. I was like, wow, girl.
Attention, all Walmart shoppers, associates, and managers. My name is Shauna from Cap 2, and I just want to come on here and say Henry is a racist, stinky prick. Giovanna is racist. Elias is a prick of a manager. This company fires Black associates for no reason. This company treats their employees like shit, especially Cap 2, and Jimmy from Sporting Goods, Joseph the cashier, Larry from Garden Center. You are all perverts. And I hope you don't talk to your daughters the way you talk to me. Shout out, Ariel. Fucking love you for getting me this job a year ago when I needed it most. Fuck the managers, fuck this company, fuck this position, and fuck that big lazy bitch, Chris Price. I fucking quit. I'm out
already.
Damn.
Mic drop.
I'm trying to tell you.
If she didn't quit, she was gonna get fired. So.
Exactly. One way or the other, she was out the door.
Oh damn. Woo! Hopefully, and you could tell everything she said was like from the heart. Like she's been going through some real stuff, like since from start to finish. You know, from her coworkers being perverts to the big fat lazy whoever that was her manager. You could just tell it's all bad, and firing Black employees for no reason. She's exposing them. We need to pay attention. Look into it.
Right. I hope she, did have another job lined up already prior to this. Like, I hope she thought it out. I hope she was making some, chess moves and thinking ahead and like, okay, I already got a job. I'm finna cut y'all out and I'm gonna walk out the door. Because you can't get unemployment if you quit. So hopefully she planned all that out and she already has another job that she's working at and it's going better. But I mean, I respect her for doing it. I respect her even more so if she did plan it out. Because those type of things need to be called out in the workplace. Like, you got racists, you got perverts, like all of that, like, is wrong. And especially for big corporations such as Target. I mean, there's definitely a better way she could have gone about it.
Sure.
She could have went to HR or head management or take it higher up in ranks. But I mean, she did it the best way she knew could. So
she didn't already do that.
It's like assuming she didn't already do that, because maybe she did. So and those type of things, especially for big corporations where people go and shop at, especially people of color. We need to be aware of these things. Also, y'all got perverts and racists and they're working here, and it's like those things need to be addressed. And Target is supposedly pro-Black, so that needs to be addressed with their CEO, and there needs to be some changes made at that particular Target store.
And she was a woman of color that was letting it be known. She was blowing the dog whistle. So I'll yes, girl, do your thing. Do your thing. Hopefully you got another job lined up. The whole point of this video and this little segment was, don't quit your job if you don't have another job lined up. I don't know, that dude that we've seen that was unemployed for 10 years, looking for a job, going to the unemployment place all the time.
10 months is hard without a job.
But 10 years, he's probably living at his mama's house. He has
exactly.
Like all kind of stuff. Government assistant. Because like that girl said last week, there's no way you're gonna be my savior and my oppressor at the same time.
You
I don't
can't be
trying to save me, but at the same time you're oppressing me. That it just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
You gotta make it make sense.
Right. So yeah, so that's all I got for my little portion. G, what you got for us?
Okay, so first, y'all, I got the Kentucky State Police. We're gonna jump right into the article with this one because the title is a little deceiving. Like when I first read it, I was like, oh yeah, we finna, right, with the Kentucky State Police, but that's not the case. I mean, kind of so we're going to just jump into the article. But the name of the article is Kentucky State Police Training Materials Instruct Officers to be a Ruthless Killer.
Ruthless.
Okay, so training materials for Kentucky State Police cadets once included quotes attributed to Nazi leader Adolf Hitler and Confederate General Robert E. Lee. A slideshow instructed the future troopers to be warriors who always fight to the death and to be a ruthless killer. This information came to light through two student journalists at DuPont Manual High School in Louisville and appeared online in the school's newspaper, the Manual Red Eye, on Friday, October 30th. My full response on the KSP training slides: this is disgusting. I certainly hope this PowerPoint does not reflect the current training for KSP or any law enforcement officer entity. The tone and tenure are overly white, Christian male, warlike, and adversarial. Tweeted Louisville Urban League President Sadiqa Reynolds. This revelation about how officers are trained could add fuel to the fire surrounding the killer of Breonna Taylor, a Black medical worker in her home, by Louisville Metro Police Department officers during a botched raid on her apartment. One slide titled "Violence of Action" directs troopers to have a mindset void of emotion and to meet violence with greater violence. Okay, so reading this, hoping so. Okay, real quick, let me read this. So, Kentucky State Police spokesperson Lieutenant Joshua Lawson emailed this statement to the student newspaper. The quotes are used for their content and relevance to the topic addressed in the presentation. The presentation touches on several aspects of service, selflessness, and moral guidance. All of these topics go to the fundamentals of law enforcement, such as treating everyone equally, service to the public, and being guided by the law. Okay, so he didn't really address saying that it doesn't still quote Adolf Hitler. So it possibly still can, that can still be one of their enforcements, but it just gonna put this out there. Donald J. Trump has instructed the national United States police departments to use excessive force and shoot first. So, is he the present day Hitler? Sort of, it's just reading is just absolutely disgusting to even, read about, and hearing that, high school students did their newspaper presentation on this one. It's inspiring to me. Just, love seeing our youth take those courses of action and exposing certain things like this. But whenever hearing about how the police are trained and told to do people, it's like, how is that protecting and serving? Y'all's job is supposed to be to protect and to serve, and you fail. You fail at both. You fail at protecting, you fail at serving. And how can y'all do better to do for your communities what it is you are sworn in to do, protect and serve them? Because Black communities don't get that, have never gotten that. And I don't want that from y'all. I'd rather be protected and served by my Black Panther parties. They do the job. They get it done.
Most definitely. I mean, we even see there's even acts like that protect police officers to basically use their discretion. And when they do use their discretion, they won't meet any charges. This is again something we've talked about, but that's just crazy to think that a police officer can use his discretion but meet violence with violence. Why is it never diffuse the situation or apprehend the suspect? Or I don't really know what else you could say, but they got 8 different gadgets on that belt, but the gun is the most used.
The gun is most used. The most violent weapon that they have is the one most used.
I can't find what this word is.
All I'm gonna say is, like that girl said last week, there's no way you're gonna be my savior and my oppressor at the same time. You gun innocent. Well, I don't know if I could say innocent, but you gun unarmed Black people down in the street all the time, and still somehow we end up shocked or surprised when we find out the tactics or the training that they're getting. At the end of the day, if a white man could run around with a knife and chase the police, really, and not get shot, and a Black person that has mental illness does the same thing but gets shot multiple times, they're not shooting to disarm, they're shooting to kill.
They're shooting to kill.
And these are facts.
And that is a perfect segue into my next one, because Nas and Meek Mill, they condemned the police shooting of Walter Wallace Jr., who was the 27-year-old mentally ill man who was shot and killed in Philly. The police shot him 14 times. So that was just a perfect segue into that, because really though,
It's getting ridiculous.
White people could do it all the time.
It's getting so ridiculous.
So are we looking at the article, or are we looking at the video?
The video. There's no article. It's a video.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Oops. Let me scroll down. Oops. Let me scroll down.
Okay, start it over.
Okay.
Okay, Meek Mill and Nas speak out after the Philadelphia police shooting of Walter Wallace, a 27-year-old mentally ill Black man, on October 26th. The Wallace family's lawyer, Shaka Johnson, told USA Today that Wallace's brother called 911 seeking an ambulance to provide medical assistance because the 27-year-old was in the midst of a mental episode. Wallace reportedly had a history of mental illness. Protests have since erupted in Philadelphia following the shooting. Taken to his Instagram story, Meek Mill called out the Philadelphia police for excessive use of force. The so-called thugs on the streets want to shoot a man with a small knife 15 times to protect themselves. We had this our whole lives. I posted for y'all to see a young man confronting his mom and could have been resolved. Let's help her ASAP. Now condemned the Philadelphia Police Department's actions as disgusting. 27-year-old Walter Wallace was shot and killed after 2 officers opened fire on him for having mental health issues. Disgusting. Rest in peace. Wallace was reportedly brandishing a knife when the responding officers arrived. His mother, who was also presented, attempted to get him to drop the knife, asking officers not to shoot her son. Philadelphia officers fired 14 shots. Wallace was transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. That's it.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. The struggle.
Yeah, just kind of just speaking to what Meek said, when you grow up in the hood, you see crazy situations all the time. You see crazy stuff happen literally all the time. There's so many different people from so many different walks of life that you see and that you deal with on a normal daily basis. We deal with mental health with mental health people. We deal with gangsters and gang members. We deal with crackheads and pimps and prostitutes. I mean, like, we've seen it all in the hood. And for me, it's like my grandfather is mental ill. And he has his episodes, and he goes through. I've seen in my entire life, there wasn't a moment in my lifetime my grandfather has not had mental health issues. And so Walter Wallace's case hits me a little particular because you could have diffused the situation in so many different ways. I know there's been so many different times where some of my brother's homies done, I had to let my brother know, like, hey man, I seen your grandpa, and I had to hem him up. I had to pin him up real quick. He got sideways with me. But there's been many times, where my brother has had to do it himself. My mom then had to do it before. But it's been dealt with, and you can calm it down. You can calm the situation down. So the fact that the police didn't even attempt to calm it down and gunned him down in front of his mom, 27-year-old mental patient is like a 15-year-old boy. It was like that's her baby, that it hurts. It hurts and it hits home. You could have diffused that situation so many different ways. And it's like Tabitha was saying earlier, white man can chase the police with a gun, but a black man with mental health issues, y'all fire 14 shots into him.
Quit.
I'm sorry. Let's make it make sense. Let's make it make sense.
They let off them 14. Quit. It's real sad. I mean, and like, we talk a lot about how it takes a village. And what that really means is, like, when you see that happening, because there was a video, like, everybody's on the block recording this stuff. Like we gotta intervene when it's times like that, because it's clear that they're just gonna kill us. Like, it don't matter if we have our phone out. It doesn't matter if we're recording, begging them to stop, begging them to not shoot, hands up. It doesn't matter. Like, I at least seen 3 dudes out there on that block. If you don't grab homie and sit him down, take a knife, something. Like we have to really protect each other.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you gotta think about it like this, because though they're also unarmed black men, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they're automatically looked at as violent, or like they're gonna attack, or they're gonna do whatever, and they don't even have a weapon on them. So you go to jump to intervene in something, and not only is that person shot, but you're shot also. There's a video I seen this week. I wanted to use it, but I was like, nah, I'm just gonna cover opportunities. But there was a man that was shot and killed, and his girlfriend went out there like, please stop shooting, please stop. And she ended up getting shot, but she survived and he died. So like when it comes to like you would think, like when George Floyd got murdered or whatever and was killed in front of everybody, there were people watching what was going on, but because of the way society is set up, and because of the qualified immunity that police have and stuff, and the fact that they use like excessive force, that we be scared to act. I don't know. Some people it's fight or flight. Some people are just afraid and they freeze. That's the type of person I am. I freeze. I don't act. I just kind of be stuck. And some people act like they be out there ready to go, like that woman that ran out there to go try to help her boyfriend or whatever. I mean, it's all different. Just like Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, he fought. He tried to shoot back, but clearly he's being sued now for saying that he's causing emotional distress. So there's nothing we really do.
And without, that's why I always say we have to be more of a community, because in with situations like that, when you know your community, if you don't have actual family that you can call to come and help diffuse the situation in our Black communities, you have to know your neighbors. You have to be able to call and say, hey, Walter's having an episode. I need you to come calm him down. I need you. Walter has a knife. I don't know what to do. I don't want to call the police, because we don't want to call the police. That's always our last resort. If we got to call the police, especially I know with me and my family, if we got to call the police, you can guarantee it's because there's nothing Nothing at all we could have done about it ourselves. And I mean absolutely nothing. And there's never nothing we can't do. And so you have to Black people, we have to start loving each other again. We have to know our neighbors again. We have to be comfortable with letting our elders discipline our children and be checked by somebody older than us or somebody with different perspective and wisdom than us. We have to love each other again because of situations like this. Because if they could have had somebody to call, hey, you know, I don't want to call the police. Walter got a knife. I don't know what to do. I know growing up on the east side in the hood, if situation like that, there's somebody I could have called. They would have. There's men in the community who are big and strong enough and say to a mental health man, some other man would have been able to get that knife out of his hand without killing him, without harming him too bad. So in some situations like that, you might have to punch him real quick, like boom, you're doing too much. Calm down. I've seen it. There's been many times where my brother has had to hem up my grandpa, like, hey, I love you. You're tripping. I don't want to hurt you, but you need to calm down. You're doing too much. And it can happen. It's possible. It's possible. You can calm down a mental health patient without having to fire 14 shots into them and take their life. Right. And we as Black people, we have to start loving each other and our neighbors in our communities and our elders and our youth. We have to love each other again so that we can say, okay, well, you know, I don't have any immediate family that I can call, but such and such is down the street. Let me call them and see if they're home, if they could come help diffuse the situation. I mean, we have to, because we don't want to call the police. So we have to MACM and find other solutions that we know are going to keep us alive and keep us alive. That's the point. Right. Because the police ain't doing it.
But we'll segue into your next article.
This one is just a day in history. So while everybody was out, you know, celebrating Halloween and stuff on the 31st, historical Black fact is that October 31st, 1950, Earl Lloyd became the first Black man drafted into the NBA. And he was the 9th round pick for the Washington Capitals. And the first game that he played in was against the Rochester Royals.
Right there.
So, just a little history, y'all. The NBA was officially formed August 3rd, 1949. So, you know, about a year later is when the first Black man was drafted into the NBA. So, not the first year draft, but the second year draft. Okay, so let's see. Having recently been drafted by the Washington Capitals in the 9th round, Earl Lloyd became the first African-American athlete to play in the National Basketball Association in a game against the Rochester Royals on October 31st, 1950. Lloyd, a forward known for his defense, previously played at West Virginia State College. Prior to the NBA, Lloyd led West Virginia State to 2 CIAA conference and tournament championships in 1948 and 49. He was named All-Conference 3 times and was All-American twice as named by the Pittsburgh Courier. After the Capitals folded in 51, Lloyd went to play with the Syracuse Nationals, where he spent 6 seasons. He spent 2 years with the Detroit Pistons before retiring in 60. Lloyd coached the Pistons from 72 to 73 and was scout for 5 seasons. Lloyd passed away in 2015 at the age of 86. So just a little Black history for you guys. You know, basketball is really big in our culture. And I just think it's important to know the history of how things come about. So because basketball is important in our culture, I think it's important to know our Black players who started us out and who we have now, who's good and who's not, all of that good stuff. So yeah, y'all know the name Earl Lloyd. He was the first black man drafted into the NBA.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
That's lit. I didn't know that.
Me neither.
That's probably something I should know.
I don't know too much about sports, and I don't know too much about a lot of stuff, y'all.
Basketball is my favorite sport, so
Yeah.
I like football, but I don't know the history. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it was pretty interesting to learn about that because basketball is my favorite sport. So
No, that's cool, and it's good to have some Black history.
yeah. So we can segue into Mark.
Yes, indeed. So y'all already know it. I'll give y'all that trending topics. But today I got two comedic reliefs, but we'll start with the bottom one, please. And this is actually the serious one that I have for y'all, and I'll have two funny ones after this. But man,
oh my God, prepare yourself.
Yeah, please prepare yourselves. This is just, really sad to hear, especially when it's about our people. Man, we just got to do better. We got to do better. So it says store guard stabbed 27 times after asking Chicago sisters to wear masks.
Damn.
Come on, y'all.
We all gotta wear that mask. I can't breathe either.
Come on,
We
y'all.
all gotta wear it.
I'm saying, so look, they look sick, bruh.
They couldn't breathe.
All right, but two sisters have been charged with attempted first-degree murder in Chicago after they allegedly attacked a security guard who told them to wear face masks and use hand sanitizer inside a store. Jayla Hill, 18, and her sister Jessica, 21, each faced one count of attempted murder in connection with the incident, which was captured on surveillance too.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Ain't no allegedly.
I'm saying. So I'll read this. So the attack played out at a Snipes shoe store on Sunday, where the 6'5", 270-pound guard confronted the suspect over the shop's mandatory mask policy. The mandatory mask policy, that means everyone has to apply.
Everybody, not just y'all, but everyone.
Man. But I guess that's off.
The younger one looks sad, but the older one's like, man, I did it. So
I've been here before, type shit.
Right.
But I mean,
18, like she's sick. She's like, that's my life. Like, yeah, boo.
And first-degree murder of us. Does that still classify as like a police official, like a security guard?
No,
I don't know. That means like it's kind of premeditated, I think. Let's look at that. Go ahead.
But it's just like, even like stabbing a security guard like to death 27 times. Like, he better have assaulted you, like put his hands on you or
27
something.
times? Did he? 27 times is overkill.
I'm trying to tell you, like, you had to be like over that man. like
Let's go with it.
Oh,
that's all bad.
First-degree murder in most states, first-degree murder is defined as an unlawful killing that is both willful and premeditated, meaning that it was committed after planning or lying in wait for the victim. So that's like, what did they do? Wait for him to get off work?
I'm not sure.
Well, no, that's the definition of the first degree murder, but that's not always what the case is. They can give you what they feel fits your crime, even if it doesn't fit your crime. So, like they said, the article said that it was caught on camera. It was probably just a brutal murder. The 27 times, that's overkill. So it's like, you're already killing them. Now you're going to keep killing them, and you're going to it's the 27 times is why it was the first degree, because that's overkill. Like, y'all it's excessive. Like, why are you still stabbing this man? And down, he can't hurt you anymore. Like,
but
how you gonna get mad? This is a pandemic.
How you gonna get mad?
And you tripping because I guarantee you, if you have a job and you're working in customer service, you're not angry because your boss says, Shanika, girl, not saying you're a girl. No, Marshawn, son, I need you to put that mask on real quick because we got customers up in here, old people, you gotta expose them to coronavirus. You ain't got nothing to say about that, but That's sad. That's
Exactly. Like everybody wear your mask. Everybody. Like it's not it's not singled out for one group of people. Wear a mask. Like and then she got her mask on in her mugshot. It's too late now.
He had a mask on when he told them to put their mask on. So it's not like he was being a hypocrite. Like put your mask on. He doesn't have a mask on. That just wouldn't I would understand getting mad then. But and black people, we're so stubborn and rebellious. I'm at King Supers last night. Sometimes I don't put my mask on when I go in there, but I had it on that day so I could judge. But there was a man in there that didn't have his mask on. He's looking me all in my face like I'm doing something wrong. And he's black also. I'm just like, man, you looking at me like I made a bad move. Like I just didn't have
like look at her following instructions.
Right.
Goofy as hell. But yeah, if no one else has anything to say, we can segue into some more.
Okay, what's one next?
No, I'm just gonna pray for them sisters. First degree murder at 21 and 18 is hard. So I'm just gonna pray for them. I pray that they find solace and yeah. Y'all go to jail, so
yes, indeed. Yeah, y'all going to jail.
That's for sure. That's
that's a fact. Like, yeah, there's no getting around that one. It wasn't self-defense or anything like that. So yeah, y'all are going to jail.
We can't even, and in situations like that, it sucks because we can't even plead your case or like get behind y'all when y'all's acting like this.
Like, and it sucks because I want to be able to be on your side. I want to, but when you do dumb shit like this, I can't even back you up on it. It's like, yeah, well, I hope you can, if you don't know God, I hope you find God, and I hope you ask for forgiveness, and I hope you are forgiven, and I hope you find peace within yourself, because now you have to live with being a murderer. You took someone's life, so there's that too.
Absolutely. So we'll segue into this next article where we had a man that paid for the full contact experience of a leopard. I don't know about y'all, but I don't really deal with the wildlife, especially ones that could potentially kill me.
But he's white though. Look at him. He's like, oh,
white people.
He's like, this is awesome. Look.
Yeah. Wait, scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
So it says a Florida man who paid $150 to get up close and personal with a black leopard is now suing the sanctuary that made it happen after the animal mauled him instead of submitting for pictures and belly rubs. So this is just crazy. I don't.
My cats don't. I have two cats. They both don't like their stomach rubs. So I'm like, I know a big ass cat is not gonna like that either. I don't even know.
Man. But I don't know. I don't even think like you have a real case to like sue because you walked into the cage and paid for the mauling damn near. Like, like you might have thought you was gonna get some belly rubs in, but nah.
Let me rub your belly. I don't know. That just don't sound right.
Crazy as hell. I would have never put myself in that predicament, but that's just me.
I don't know too much about when it comes to exotic pets. Like, there's some. I knew this black dude that had alligators as pets, like little baby alligators as pets. And I'm just thinking like, and he was one of those, those when a white person says, meet my black friend. He's that black friend that probably got like the straight hair that's a little emo, you know what I'm saying? That skateboard and all kind of stuff. This dude is that black dude. He had two alligators. And there was a couple of pictures where like the alligator had got out of the cage and like really like latched onto him and like tore him up. So when stuff like this happens to people, I don't be surprised because at the same time you put yourself in this situation, and then you want your people, well, you want people to have sympathy for you, and I'm not gonna have no sympathy for you because this is the thing. Like, I don't understand when white people do stuff like this. I don't get it. I don't get it. Y'all always want to go out in the wild and discover something new or get up close and personal with animals that are not meant to get up close and personal. Y'all the only people that will be up in the jungle trying to pet a lion. Like, who does that? Who does that? When we know they're carnivores, they eat people.
So I look at animals, exotic animals, strictly from a spiritual standpoint. I know, God originally intended for man and human to live together and amongst one another peacefully, and the cause of sin is the fall of that. And so I know that's why we can't live coexistingly together, because we're not meant to anymore. But I do believe that animals can sense your spirit. Now, with that being said, I'm not gonna willingly go out and want to be mauled by any exotic animal. Not willingly. Now, if I happen to be somewhere where there's a wild animal, we come in contact, I can only pray that they sense my spirit and they don't attack me. I'm not going to come near you, though. I'm not going to really approach you. I'm going to hopefully back away and get out of that situation. But I'm not going to willingly just put myself in a situation where I can potentially be attacked by an animal. Now,
Sure, we need to be thinking that way about our oppressors too. Then
I've always been that child, and my mom could attest to this. I've always wanted a baby lion cub. Always.
I feel like everybody though, they're cute as babies when they get older.
But then when you get older and you think about it, I mean, a baby lion cub is really like the same size. It's bigger than a puppy. It's bigger than a puppy. It's really big. It's not really small, cute, and cuddly like how people like to imagine in their head. They're huge.
They got nails.
All mammals
to eat meat.
are huge. So I would never even put myself in. Now, I am gonna get me a bearded dragon. I'm gonna throw that out there. So when y'all see me with a bearded dragon on my shoulder, I don't want you guys to be surprised or anything like that. But like, I don't deal with snakes or a bearded dragon.
What was that?
I'm about to show you.
Yes, it's a little lizard. Well, it's not a lizard because it's a bearded dragon, but he is part of the reptile family.
Oh, hell no. I see those things at the pet store and I see people like looking at them and stuff, and I'm just like, no.
You have it on your shoulder.
Not me, not today.
Yes, I'm gonna register it as a support animal like I did my dog, and I'm gonna have him on my shoulder.
I forget what these monkeys are called.
How do you register? I can't. No.
I don't know. I want one of these.
My cat's unregistered. Oh, I seen those in Costa Rica, but that's like an albino one.
For real.
You see?
Oh, crap.
Oh, yes. See, and I want a finger monkey. I've always wanted a finger monkey.
That's what it is. I couldn't.
Yeah. I've always wanted a little finger monkey.
Y'all are too much monkey throat kid.
I've always been an animal lover, to an extent. Like, I'm not a house cat person though. Like, I don't like cats. I've kicked cats before. Me and cats get into it. I don't do cats.
I love my cat.
I don't do. Which, I mean, it depends. Cats are weird, but I've never had a problem with things. And I've never come in contact though with like a real lion or tiger, so I don't know how we would do. But nah.
Okay, yeah, but as we segue, man, we got this.
I seen this too. I was like, what?
I'm not gonna call him a clown. I'll just say
I'm gonna call him a clown.
Okay, man, listen. He's also one of the reasons I brought this up is because he's running for presidency. Unfortunately, hopefully, y'all didn't vote for him.
Who? Kanye?
Mm-hmm. Kanye.
He didn't make it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he didn't make it to like the actual ones, but it's just like he's a clown. Like, it's crazy. But here we have this article where he actually made a hologram of Kim Kardashian's father and gave it to her for her birthday. If this isn't just like Like, man, like I be.
Can we watch the video?
I'm shook. Yes, of course. Please play. It's
yes, of course. Please play.
You look beautiful, just like when you were a little girl. I watch over you and your sisters and brother and the kids every day. Sometimes I drop hints that I'm around, like when you hear someone make a big pee-fee, or when you make a big pee-fee. Remember when I would drive you to school in my tiny Mercedes every day and we would listen to this song together? I am so proud of the woman that you've become, Kimberly, and all that you've accomplished. All of your hard work and all the businesses you have built are incredible. But most impressive is your commitment to be a lawyer and carry on my legacy. It's a long and a hard road, but it's worth it. And I'm with you every step of the way.
No, we could pause it. This is just really creepy. I mean, I wouldn't know how I would feel about having a hologram of my deceased parent, but
That's creepy.
I don't know.
No.
I'm cool, like, and it's just a waste of bread.
Yeah,
like,
what you think? No. And for her not to tell him, babe, no. What the hell is this?
Exactly.
What is this? Like, I mean, I guess I appreciate the thought, but
That's just creepy.
that's weird. That's weird.
You're the only one I know that purposely put holes in his shirt.
Like, sir.
Tell you. Something's
Sir,
wrong.
and then charge an arm and a leg for it. I can make that myself, sir. Thank you though, but I can make it myself.
Fire. Preaching to the choir.
I can make that on sackcloth.
I'll try to tell you.
Oh my goodness. That man there, he
Yes, indeed. But yes, indeed. That is all we have for you all for today's podcast. You know, we went over an abundance of different and unique different articles. Why can't I click on that? So we started with rats and roaches. You know, it sucks that that's even associated with us, but the solution to that is finding better housing, finding employment so we can have stability in our lives. Y'all feel me? Then we moved over to G's section where she had the exposure of the Kentucky State Police training and Nas and Meek Mill's reaction to the tragic shooting of Walter Wallace. And then we had our Black History moment, the first first Black player in the National Basketball Association. Then we talked about the unfortunate sisters that killed the security guard. Still just unfortunate, you know. Then we went over to the dummy that got mauled, you know. Then we talked about Kanye's just clownery, honestly. Yes. As always, we are your hosts, Mark Jonathan,
Tabitha Saraiba Israel,
and G.
Yes, indeed. And this is our MACM Culture Move podcast. Please tune in again with us every Monday and Friday.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Indeed. And on Tuesdays through Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, we have our virtual artist storytelling. You know, always tune in for that. You know, we have great stories every week. But like G said, tap into our YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like videos, tune in. And we will see y'all Friday.
Y'all MACM out there.
Buy merch. We got everything. Face masks, hoodies, all that. Yes, sir.
All right. With that, we say goodbye.
Peace, y'all MACM.
Bye.